Hi, and welcome to today's Christian Woman with your host, Pastor Kerrene. Glad you could join me today, and I'm glad that you are with me. For today, we want to look at something very dear and very special to my heart, because I want to make sure that you ladies are women that can stand and withstand the pressures of today's society. I know that life can pretty much throw you for curveballs and pretty much knock you down. But I want you to be able to stand regardless, irrespective of what happens in your life. I want you to know that you can stand, that you can make this world, throughout your lifetime, as committed, strong Christian women. You don't have to fail. You don't have to be weak. Now, over the next 4 weeks, I want to take you over a little acronym, the acronym of LIFE. I want you to be committed for life, and we're going to use the acronym LIFE. Now, obviously, we're going to start with the first letter, and that letter being L. And that is lean on the Lord. To do that, we're going to look at the scripture found in Proverbs. Please excuse my voice. We're going to look at Proverbs chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. And yes, I am. I am using the New Living Translation. It is not the Living Bible. The Living Bible is merely a paraphrase. This is a translation. So we're looking at that. And looking at that, we're going to begin in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. Please forgive that sound. That just means that the Tigers have scored. Chapter 3, verse 1. My child, never forget the things I have taught you. Store my commands in your heart. If you do this, you will live many years, and your life will be satisfying. Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as reminders. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor both with God and people, and you will earn a good reputation. Lean on the Lord. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. This is a very well-known piece of scripture. The Proverbs written by Solomon, but not all of them. Some of them were written by other individuals. It is a compilation. The vast majority are written by Solomon, the son of David, but not all of them. This one happens to be one that is indeed written by David. Written by Solomon. I like David. I like Solomon. But this happens to be written by Solomon. Now, some people make commitments, and they don't mean much. And sadly, that's the way that we go with our Christian experience. We don't mean to, but we make the commitment to be saved. But somehow life gets in the way. It just interferes with us. We have children, we have husbands, we have jobs, and we just need to breathe. And that breath may require some things that aren't exactly pleasing to God. And our friends, some people in the church even, will tell us, don't worry about it. Do the best you can. God understands. Here's my bone of contention with that. God does understand. And He understands that He has given you all that you need to make it through this world, living a life not pleasing to other people, but pleasing to Him. And it's not about what you can do, doing the best that you can. It's about doing the best that God can do through you. And if we get that straight in our hearts, then maybe we can make that commitment a little easier, maybe not. But I want to show you through that acronym LIFE the points that will help you live that commitment daily. Now, some of us have that yo-yo experience. We're up one day and we're down the next day. We're up, we're down, up, down, we're up, we're down. we just can't seem to find ourselves on level ground. We make the commitment to live saved, and no matter what we do, we want to, but we can't. We really want to, but we can't. We want to, but it's the hokey pokey. We're in and out. We put the one foot in, we take the one foot out. We put I hated that thing. Listen, you can do this, ladies. You can actually live a life that is free from sin in accordance to the will of God. Now, these commitments for life is something that not only can you do, but it is a requirement that you do it. You don't get to start the race and say, well, I did the best that I could, but I couldn't make it through all the way to the end. I kind of screwed up in the middle. I had some difficulties. Then you're just not saved. Now, you may say, well, wow, that's a little harsh. But beloved ladies, when you sin, you sin. You need to repent and start again. You pick it up and start again. That's the problem. That's the problem right there. We have that yo-yo, that hokey-pokey experience in our lives. Let's work on being committed for life and living righteously, living holy before Him daily. We can do it. Now, I know that we're intelligent. We're intelligent beings. Many of us are smart. I used to be. You know how to answer questions and how to make decisions. I used to be one of you. We know what is the best way for us to be, and we can answer many questions that our friends and our relations have. We know how to do these things because we're smart. We have street smarts. We have common sense. We have book smarts. I used to be one of you. I learned that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. I learned this because the all-knowing, the almighty, the ever-present God asked me a question and then took away my intelligence. And I knew the answer, but I couldn't formulate the answer. I couldn't tell him the answer to the question. And his response was, see, without me, you can't even think. I learned on that day, Kerrene's not smart. God is smart. God is the one who has all the wisdom and all the intelligence. Now, I'm not trying to say that anyone isn't intelligent. I'm not trying to say that anyone isn't smart. That's not what I'm saying at all. As a matter of fact, I'm saying that you are smart. You are intelligent. And that may be the problem for many of us, because we learn to lean on our own intelligence. We trust that we know those things, even the mundane, especially the mundane things of life. We know how to dress ourselves. We know the best dress that we look good in. We know the slacks that fit us just perfectly. We know how to make ourselves look good, the correct makeup to put on. We know all of these things. The problem with that is that we're trusting, we're relying on our own understanding. This is what I know. This is what I can do. Of course I know this. Well, Pastor, didn't God give us intelligence? He most certainly did. And He must be so disappointed in us. Because as with every gift that God gives us, and intelligence is a gift, with every gift that God gives us, He kind of expects us to do like Solomon. Solomon was given a blank check. Ask me whatever you want, and I'll give it to you. Blank check. Blank check from God. Whoa, it doesn't get any better. Now, the reason why God doesn't give us blank checks is because He can't trust us. He knows what we're going to ask for, and it's not what Solomon asked for. It's not godly at all. It's, ooh, yeah, I could use a little. No. He gave Solomon a blank check because He knew what Solomon would do with a blank check. Understand that I'm not going to trust my own understanding. Instead, Solomon said, "Here, give me the wisdom to lead your people. Show me how to do that." God said, because you didn't ask for money and all the other stuff that worldly people ask for, I'm going to give you wisdom. And I'm also going to give you the other stuff too. We need to understand that the gift of intellect that God has given us, if we would just take that intellect and say, "Here, I don't know what to do with this. If you leave it in my hands, I'm bound to screw it up. I'm bound to be less, to do less than what you would want me to do. I think, Father, the best thing that I can do for you is to take this and give it to you, because I know I can trust you with it. I know that you will do the very best with it." It goes back to people who tell us, God understands, just do the best that you can. Wisdom says, no, I don't. I need to do the best that God can do through me. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm going to lean on the Lord. I'm going to trust in Him. Now, what's so bad about leaning on our own understanding? We have this intelligence. Okay, you said that we should turn it over to God, but until I do that, I have this intelligence. What's the crime in using it? Here's the problem. That's exactly what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to say, I can do this. I don't need the Lord to do this for me. I can dress myself. I know what looks good on me. Like I said, I know the perfection and the imperfections of my body. I got this, Lord. But God sees everything. Everything is always open before Him. Beloved ladies, please understand. Time is for men. It's not for God. Time governs us. Doesn't govern God. Everything is always present before Him. So nothing ever gets past Him because it's always right there. He knows what we do in our dress, in our clothing, in our makeup, in our hats, in our shoes. He knows exactly how they will affect who, when, where, why, and why we should, shouldn't, can't. He understands that. He knows that. So while we go on those shopping sprees and we go to make our purchases, why not do a fashion show for the Lord and ask Him, how do I look? Is this something that will catch your eye? Is this pleasing? Do I represent you well? I know I look good, but do I represent you well? Are you satisfied with this? Do you think that this is becoming of a child of God? What do you think, Lord? Ask His opinion. Now, some of us will say, I don't care what He says. I look good. You got a problem already. We can't even start to talk about your commitment for life. We need to get you to be committed, period, just to make something. But for those of us who are concerned about what the Lord has to say about our dress, I mean, He dresses the lilies of the field. He makes sure the animals have what they need so that their flesh isn't hanging out loose. Don't you think He cares about His highest creation, mankind? And I mean that in the most generic way, because ladies, we're included in that. Don't you think He cares? You're more valuable than any of those. So certainly He cares about what you do and how you look, because you're representing Him. You say that you're a child of God, then you need to represent Him well. Now, if we do that when we make our purchases, here's the thing. When we get to our closets, it doesn't matter what we put on for that day. It's going to be pleasing before the Lord because we've already consulted Him. We've already made sure that we've heard from Him. Now, before you say, well, I don't ever hear Him talking, He never says anything to me, that's probably because we won't be quiet. We won't shut up. We won't be patient. We haven't learned that prayer process where we are listening for the Lord. We're still in monologue section. We don't do dialogues. We do monologues. We do gimmies. We do wants. But when we get that right prayer life, commitment, it's going to come a little easier. We're going to be able to lean on the Lord a lot more. And we're going to hear and recognize his voice. So we can hear him say, yes, you look good. That's not pleasing to me. Whoa. Can't buy that one. How about this one? You like this one? Yeah, I like that one. That one's fine. That one represents me very well. We'll be able to hear him much better. We'll be able to understand what he is saying to us and why he's saying that to us. It's not a question of us saying, yeah, why can't I have this? No, it's a question of us saying, you're not happy? Then I'm not happy. Our commitment starts to stabilize. Now, what's wrong with our understanding? Really? We have the measure of intelligence. We have the ability to think. And I don't want you to think for a second that I'm not saying that you can't make your own decisions. I'm not saying that. You certainly have the ability to make the decisions. Is it wise? No. No, it's not wise. Well, why isn't it wise? I'm glad you asked that question. It's not wise because we're human beings and where we live. It's just not wise. It's not wise because Satan is there. Satan has polluted God's creation. The biggest pollutant is society. Society tells us it's okay to have religion when you're little, and you can have it again when you're old, but you can't have it when you get vital. That doesn't make any sense. You can't have religion and waste your time on an invisible God. Don't do that before you die. Then, if there is a God, then you can go ahead and get that thing straightened out. But not now. There's too much fun to be had. Society tells us that because Satan tells society that. Satan tells you and society tells you. You know how good music is for you? You know how it calms the soul and relaxes your spirit and everything about you just goes limp. You're so calm and at ease because of music. Oh, it can be gospel music. Yeah, it's okay because you can raise hands because you can witness to that song. Oh, you've been through that. Yes, Lord, you've been through that. You understand that completely. It can be secular music. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Yeah, my life is just like that. That's the problem. Satan tells society to take those lyrics and govern your life by those lyrics. And I don't care if it's gospel or secular. Anytime you take that and you govern and rule your life by a song, then you're not leaning on the Lord. You're leaning on a lyricist who cannot keep you, who cannot help you through the patches and the difficulties of life, cannot make you stable, cannot stabilize your Christian experience, cannot make you strong and vital in the Lord. Can't do it. Don't lean on music. Don't lean on your understanding of that song. It's not the Lord. If you're going to lean, and you must lean on the Lord. Trust him. Not your understanding of a song, not your interpretation of a bunch of lyrics, but on the Lord, who has made and created and sustained all things. Lean on him. Doesn't that just follow through? I mean, the God who's always there, who's almighty, all present, all-knowing? Doesn't it make more sense to lean on him than a song that another man, another human being wrote? Satan doesn't want you to think that way, ladies. He wants you to think of the release that it gives you, of the emotional refuge that it supplies you with. Lean on the Lord. Don't lean on the music. Society, Satan wants you to say, well, I can lean on this TV show because they're a doctor. They already know the answers. They have the cure-all. They get it, and they've gone to school for it. So they know what they're talking about. I can trust it because their situation in life is just like mine. So I'm getting free psychiatric help by watching this show. They understand my life. They understand nothing. They understand nothing. The one who understands your life is the one who formed you in your mother's womb. He understands your life. Lean on him. He didn't need a book. He didn't need a school. He created the book. He created the school. He created the intelligence. He created it all. Why go through a middleman who will probably prescribe you some pills so you can ease down? Get rid of those anxieties. He's not going to, here's the thing, he's not going to prescribe you to listen to music. He's going to prescribe you a nice little tablet that's going to help you get rid of those anxious moments. Wouldn't it be better to take the Lord at his word, to lean on him, knowing that he who has created all things is willing to give you wisdom, willing to make those corrected points, and to give you much more than what you ever dreamed possible. See, the world wants you to believe that you can't do this, that you can, again, only do your best. When God is saying, I don't want you to do your best. I want you to do my best. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to let me do it through you. I'm asking you to let me give you wisdom. But to do that, you're going to have to trust me. You're going to have to lean on me. Don't lean on the television. Don't lean on the music. Don't lean on your friends. Don't lean on your pastor. Don't lean on your co-workers. Don't lean on your family. Don't lean on you. Lean on me. I'm the one who can take you from point A to point B and never let you fall. I am the one who can make sure throughout your lifetime you can have a commitment with me that will not falter. We can get rid of those yo-yo experiences in our lives, those in and out, those hokey-pokey moves that we have. We can get rid of those when we learn to lean on the Lord. When we stop trying to do it ourselves and understand that God never intended for anyone to do it themselves. He intended for us to allow him to do it through us. I know that we're smart. I understand that. But you're going to be extremely frustrated in your life and in your salvation experience if you don't stop trying to do it yourself. You're never going to make it. If you keep trying to lean on other things that all have to have their foundation in something else, instead of leaning on the one who is the foundation, you're never going to be able to make it to the end of your lifetime journey standing upright and being stable and being full of power. You're not going to do it. It is an impossibility. I told my congregation just this past Sunday, the problem many of us have is that we look at our lives and we've surrendered unto God except for this small itty bitty little corner piece of our life. Just a little pin prick. I mean, you can barely see through it. That's just a little piece. And that's the piece that we want to hold back from God. It's just that little itty bitty piece, God. Just let me have this. And then the Holy Spirit says, I'm not coming. I'm not going. I'm an all or nothing kind of God. And then there's the Father who's saying, oh, I can't forgive just this part of your sin and not forgive it all. I have to have all of your sin to forgive. Well, I'm not forgiving any of it. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. And then there's Jesus the Son who said, well, wait. I didn't shed my blood for just a piece of you. I have to be Lord of all of you. I have to have all of you. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. I wish we could get to the point of understanding. If we're going to be committed for life, it's got to be all or nothing. We can't walk uprightly before God on Sunday and Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, and skip every day, every other day. He's not that kind of God. He is an all or nothing kind of God. If you want to be committed for life, if you want your salvation walk to be one for your lifetime, then you have to make a decision. Either you're going to be an all-in kind of woman, or you're going to be nothing. Either you're going to lean on the Lord, or you're going to try your conventional wisdom and find out it's not very wise at all. How can you say that? I can say that because wisdom comes from above. Perfect wisdom comes from above. It comes from God. And if you're not all in, you don't get that. You don't get that. You can't control your tongue. You can't tell them off, and you got to use profanity. The situation just calls for it. You're not all in. Because of all the thousands, hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, you can only express yourself through profanity. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. You're not all in. You're not all committed. You have that worldly commitment that, if it doesn't cost me too much, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, well, I got something better to do today, so hold on, let me put my salvation on the shelf here. Okay, now I can have some real fun. No. It's all or it's nothing. Either you can commit, and beloved women, I have said this earlier, God commands an all relationship. You have to be committed for life. You have to be. And the first step to having that commitment for life is to lean on the Lord. Stop trusting your understanding. It's too polluted, beloved. It's too messed up. Trust in the Lord. Lean on Him. Count His understanding. And know that He is with you both now and right to the end. This has been Pastor Kerrene on Today's Christian Woman. I'm glad that you can join me. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Join me on Living Saved Ministries on Friday, 6 o'clock p.m. on Blog Talk Radio, or go to the website. I'm there, too. Until we meet again, may God bless you and keep living saved.